Welcome to our latest Swampcast. I'm Pat Dooley, sports columnist of the Gainesville Sun. This is Robbie Andreu. No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. They are making us wear blazers.
So those of you who fainted, yes, these are real blazers.
And a set. So, Robbie, you got to strike the set when we're done, okay?
Okay.
We're learning all this movie and TV talk.
We're all mic'd up, so we know we're ready to go now.
Yeah, it's
Suit, mic.
It's just good that we are able to talk about Urban Meyer instead of Andrew Meyer today, as I think this guy got tased, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so too.
But
he's looking a little bewildered.
After a strange week here in Gainesville, Florida, we are ready to get out of here. We'll be in Memphis and then a little rendezvous, barbecue, and then on to Oxford. I've only been there once, Robbie. You've been there a couple times.
To Oxford, I was there in '94. That's where Spurrier kind of lost his mind at the half. He thought they scored and his visor went off. And we had this great picture of him with this unbelievably funny expression on his face.
Yeah, and we ran it again another time and he told us we couldn't use it.
Yeah, he got tired of that.
He didn't like it.
Our editor, Steve Spurrier, took care of that.
He was all bug-eyed and everything. It was great. But, it's a nice little stadium. It's actually a lot nicer than Starkville.
Yeah, and it's bigger now. It's 60,000, so it's bigger than when Florida was here last.
So it'll be somewhat loud. There's obviously one way to take care of that, and that is to score early and often. And, I guess because you and I have the genetic imprint in our brains of 2000, 2002, 2004, trips that Florida made to the state of Mississippi and came home losers, we're probably not taking this as an automatic Gator win the way some people are.
Yeah, this one, you look at the point spread, people look at that and how good Florida's playing, how poorly Mississippi has played, and they're thinking this is going to be, 50, 40-point game.
Yep.
I can't see it just because of what Florida's done in the state of Mississippi, going back to '92 even, when Shane Matthews got throttled by Mississippi State on that Thursday night game, which was brutal. It's been brutal ever since.
Terrible. It was
terrible.
But, look, the bottom line is Florida's looked really good against Tennessee. Ole Miss has not looked good this year. Their first game, they were fortunate to hold on against a Memphis team that made about 90 turnovers and allowed Ole Miss to take a big lead. Their second game, obviously, did not turn out too well for them, nor did their third, losing to Vanderbilt. And, they're last in the SEC in defense. As I wrote in my column, they're last in 11 categories if you count red lights. So they are not doing well under Ed Orgeron. There's a little fire there. One guy that we'll see, we haven't seen in a long time, and as will some of the people in the Florida camp, John Thompson, now the defensive coordinator there, they rank last in defense. So I don't know if he's happy that he came out of retirement.
But he'll be blitzing, throwing everything he can at it. And to me, though, the big concern to me is still with Florida. You're going on the road the first time.
Yeah.
All those young defensive guys look like they're maturing with experience, but now it's a whole different game. You're going on the road. How are they going to do in this game? And there's some matchup problems with that receiver Wallace, who's very fast, and he's going to test those young cornerbacks. So Florida's going to have to handle some early adversity. They have to avoid those turnovers, which can be really deadly on the road.
Well, it's funny because when you think about that game, they will blitz. But I think that's where the spread's the genius in the spread. Where do you blitz?
It's hard to blitz the spread.
Yeah, if you blitz this way and they're running it that way, guess what? It's going all the way, especially with guys like Percy Harvin and Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow. Apparently he's already won it, according to some people.
But back to the blitzing thing. I remember in the 80s when teams would run the wishbone, Oklahoma, and then you'd talk to Miami coordinator, whoever, you'd say, why don't you blitz? And they'd go, you really can't. Yeah. Because it's assignment football. So that is a good thing about the spread. That's maybe why Tebow hasn't been hit a whole lot.
And the other thing is, when you're playing an offense where you may try to move the chains this drive or you may go deep, and they don't know, and that makes it a lot harder as well. Defensively for Florida, you mentioned so many young guys, Robbie, going on the road for the first time. The freshmen, even the redshirt freshmen, some of them haven't been on the road. It's almost a perfect setup for Florida, though. You go on the road, but it's Ole Miss. It's not LSU.
No. This will help them get ready for LSU, I would think.
Yeah, you kind of get some comfort level. You learn what it's like. Now, the big concern for a lot of people, and for Urban Meyer, is that the game's at 11:30. Means you're getting up at the crack of dawn. You got to have breakfast, wolf down your breakfast, and like Urban has them go for a walk around the hotel just to kind of get their blood going so they'll be hungry.
Yeah, Meyer says, on the road it's all about routine. And the one thing about him is on Tuesday and Wednesday, no matter who they're playing, the practices are brutal. And like he says, players don't have any chance to think, oh, who we're playing, can we overlook this team? It's the same every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, brutal practice, getting ready for a game. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Are you wearing this to the game, this jersey here?
No,
Tim Tebow?
but I'm wearing this.
That's right.
Or at least after the game.
I'm supposed to be more optimistic, I've been told. I'm too pessimistic, so go Gators.
Well, I thought you were
Beat
too
Ole Miss.
optimistic.
Oh, yeah. Is it that? Which one is it?
Well, you're many fans, but who knows where they're going, where they're leaning today.
I think Florida will win this game. I think they'll win it fairly easily. Robbie, I just don't see enough firepower in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, or Ellis Green, whichever one. You wrote about him. Which one is it?
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
There you go. Okay.
I've got that down pat now. Down pat.
He's got a little injury. The quarterback's hurt. They may bring Brent Schaefer at Florida, which is interesting because he's a different kind of quarterback.
And Florida's seen him before when he was a true freshman at Tennessee, and he scrambled around a little bit, caused some problems. But.
And they'll have to play assignment football. But you know what? In the end, it all comes back to the same thing. It's a pretty good coaching staff.
Yeah, it is. They'll be ready to play. If they take care of the ball, I think you're right. I think Florida's going to win fairly easily. But again, if they mess around, it wouldn't shock me if we've got a game on going into the fourth quarter. And then who knows if you get to that situation. You need to avoid that.
Don't miss tackles. Don't turn the ball over. Florida wins easily.
And get there on time.
Yeah, be there. Yeah, not like Alabama 2 years ago. That didn't work out too well. Well, that's going to do it for our latest Swampcast. We'll be back with you live from Oxford, Mississippi. I almost said Oxford, Alabama.
Is there an Oxford, Alabama?
There's everything in Alabama. Jacksonville, St. Augustine.
It won't be Oxford, England. We know that.
No. It's like the polar opposite of Oxford, England. But we will be there live. We're going to try to do it maybe even from the field. Just make sure you tune in. Until then, this is Pat Dooley of the Gainesville Sun. Robbie Andreu of the Gainesville Sun. You wish you had these Blazers, don't you?